Here comes Angel Reese coming down the lane, blocked by Brittany Griner. You know it's bad when you making Brittany Griner look good. Blocked by Brittany Griner. Okay, what we gonna do this time? Uh-oh, here we go, going down the lane. Oh, man, another missed layup. Another missed layup. Here comes Angel Reese. Here we go, posting up, get in the lane, smokes the
3 for 13 from the field, 8 points, multiple missed layups, airballed threes that didn't even graze the rim, and that's just the box score. What you're about to see is a breakdown that nobody else wants to talk about, because when Angel Reese has a bad game, it gets buried. When Caitlin Clark shoots poorly, it's national headlines for 3 days straight, but somebody has to keep that same energy across the board, and we're gonna do exactly that right now. This isn't about hate, this is about holding every player to the same standard of scrutiny, because the double standard in WNBA coverage has gotten completely out of control, and the footage we're about to break down proves exactly why that matters.
Okay, here we go right here. Angel Reese for 3. Whoa, I was gonna say doink. That didn't even hit the rim. Last time I told you to stop shooting threes because you wanted to point your finger in the air at the rim before you shot. You didn't do that this time, so we making progress. But you gotta hit some.
Building on it here as Medina.
You gotta hit some rim. Come on now. That's not even close. Another one. That's not even close.
Another quick.
You damn near knocked the screw out the rim on this one here. Oh, okay, here we go. Get in the lane. Smokes a layup. Jesus. Come on. Uh-oh. Here she go. Just throw out. What was that?
Watch that sequence again, blocked by Brittany Griner at the rim, then immediately comes back down and misses another layup, then loses the ball in the post, then throws up a prayer from the floor with no foundation under her feet. That's not one bad possession. That's a pattern that repeated itself throughout the entire game against Phoenix. And here's what makes this significant. Angel Reese is shooting 28% from the field over her last 3 games. 28%. The majority of those shots are layups from inside 5 feet. We're not talking about contested mid-range jumpers or deep threes. We're talking about shots at the rim that WNBA players are expected to convert at a 70% clip minimum. But let's put this in context, because context matters. Olivia Miles went 2 for 13 against the Aces. Paige Buchers has been inconsistent since All-Star Weekend. The Dallas Wings have won 2 of their last 8 games. Bad shooting nights happen to everyone in this league. The problem isn't that Angel Reese had a rough game. The problem is the media ecosystem that covers these performances completely differently depending on who's struggling.
Would you shoot this? Explain that to me. You gotta explain this to me. From this position, why would you shoot that ball up at the rim? Come on, man. Why would you shoot this? This is ridiculous. You got no shot. You all on the floor. Look, you threw it up from the ground. Like, what are you doing? Here we go, down the lane, blocked. Here we go, down the lane, blocked. Okay, at least you made it on the second one. Angel Reese in the post. Here we go, knocked out of bounds. Here comes Angel Reese down. Oh, blocked. Just come on. And then we didn't even get to the headbutt yet. We got to get to.
Now we need to talk about shot selection, because this is where it gets really problematic. That 3-point attempt that didn't hit iron, that's not an anomaly. Angel Reese is shooting 20% from 3 over this stretch. 20%. And she's shooting 67% from the free throw line. There's a fundamental rule in basketball. If you can't shoot 70% from the charity stripe, you have no business taking threes in game situations. The free throw line is 15 feet with nobody guarding you in unlimited time. The 3-point line is 23 feet 9 inches with a defender in your face and a shot clock running. If you struggle with the easier shot, the harder shot isn't suddenly going to fall. But here's what Chicago Sky head coach Teresa Weatherspoon said. After the previous game when Reese kept forcing shots instead of kicking out to open teammates, she needs to trust her teammates and make the right basketball play. That's coach speak for stop trying to do too much. And then we saw the exact same issues against Phoenix. The same forced shots, the same missed layups, the same reluctance to pass out of trouble.
She got headbutt for a flagrant foul. That is nuts. First of all, throw the ball out. Once again, kick it out. You are forcing shots up at the rim. Look at it. She got headbutt, and then she talked crazy to her, standing over her. And Aaliyah Edwards is called for a technical foul. It doesn't stop there. Take a look at this. Angel Reese.
That flagrant foul on Aaliyah Edwards tells you everything about how this game spiraled. Reese throws up another contested shot at the rim, gets blocked, Edwards comes in for the rebound and accidentally catches Reese with an elbow to the head. Flagrant 1. Technical foul for the aftermath. And look, that's a basketball play gone wrong. It happens, but it happens more frequently when you're forcing your way into traffic instead of making the smart play. When you refuse to kick the ball out to shooters and instead try to Euro step backwards through 3 defenders, you're going to end up on the floor. You're going to take contact, and sometimes that contact is going to be dangerous. The frustration from Reese was visible. Standing over Edwards, talking, the technical foul was deserved, but that frustration comes from somewhere, and it comes from knowing you're playing poorly and not being able to fix it in the moment.
Caitlin, I'm gonna show y'all everybody else too. Let's go. Angel Reese down low, throws it out. Okay, turnover. Look at Angel Reese.
Atlanta.
Look at Angel Reese. Not even, look, just walking. Now she didn't get back, and she gets a throw ahead lay in. Oh, she didn't even score that one. I mean, damn, that was before the head, but I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts at this point. Angel Reese, you got to tighten up.
Now watch this defensive possession carefully, because this is the part that doesn't show up in the box score but drives coaches absolutely insane. Sky turned the ball over in transition. Phoenix pushes, and where's Angel Reese? Walking up the court, not sprinting back, not even jogging, walking. Cherry picking is a high school move. In the WNBA, if you're not getting back on defense, you're leaving your team in a 4-on-5 situation against some of the best athletes in the world, and Phoenix made them pay. Easy layup the other way, because the Sky were scrambling to cover for a player who decided transition defense wasn't worth the effort. This is January conditioning showing up in August. This is what happens when effort level drops because the shots aren't falling. And it's unacceptable at this level regardless of who's doing it. If this was Caitlin Clark walking back on defense, we'd have 15 different talking heads dissecting her effort level for the next week. Same standard has to apply here.
Thought we just wanted to protect the paint a little bit, make them have to score from the perimeter. They're really good at pounding inside, and they attack the rim real well. So we're willing to give up some mid-range. We were willing. We didn't want to give up any open looks at threes to shooters, but we knew we wanted to give help anytime they got an advantage to the rim. And most of our talks were about what we wanted to do defensively, and I thought we did a good job.
Listen to how Phoenix head coach Nate Tibbetts approached this game defensively. Protect the paint, force them to shoot from the perimeter, give help anytime they get an advantage to the rim. That's not a revolutionary game plan. That's basic basketball strategy when you're facing a team that struggles to shoot from outside, and it worked perfectly. Chicago shot 32% from the field as a team. When you can pack the paint and dare them to beat you with jump shots, and they can't make jump shots, you win the game. It's that simple. But here's what Tibbetts didn't say in that press conference. They specifically designed that scheme around Angel Reese's limitations. They knew she couldn't stretch the floor. They knew she'd force shots at the rim. They knew if they took away her first option, she didn't have a reliable second option. So they took away the first option and let her beat herself.
I thought Leash, she had her moments in the first half, and then that continued on in the second half. Just both of them just had outstanding games, and then Angel was dominant on the boards, and we got some good contributions from others as well.
We'll go to Emmanuel Glaze. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Coach, I asked Ryan, doesn't want to ask you the same. Which do you feel contributed the most for each other? Was it the defense that led to the offensive, scoring what they did, or was it the offensive that got the defense going? Which one did you see? And I guess which one of you did you notice making the most effort tonight in creating this big win for you?
The double-double streak continues. 15 rebounds. That's elite. That's all-star level rebounding. And nobody can take that away from Angel Reese. She's one of the best rebounders in WNBA history already, and she's a rookie. That matters. That has real value. But we have to be honest about what we're watching. When you're shooting 28% from the field and 20% from 3, the double-double becomes a complicated stat. Because yes, you're getting rebounds, but you're also missing so many shots that you're creating extra rebounding opportunities for yourself. You're getting offensive boards off your own misses, putting them back up, missing again, and padding the stat sheet in the process. Is that valuable? Sure. Offensive rebounds create second chance points for your team, but it's not the same as a player who shoots 50% and still grabs 15 boards. The efficiency matters, the shot selection matters, and right now those numbers are trending in the wrong direction.
Seeing like structurally different in the offense in the last two, that makes you kind of believe that this is beginning to raise the floor rather than just two hot shooting nights.
Well, I mean, we're running the same offense, and I would say getting similar quality of shots. I just think that the players are in a better rhythm right now shooting the ball, and that makes a big difference. And the more they get spread out, having to get out to shooters, there's more room for other people to attack, and it's easier to score in the paint.
And then my final question for you, obviously you guys 21-12, currently in fourth place, in the standings. With a big game like Indiana coming up on Sunday, does Sunday's game kind of begin to feel like more than just another regular season matchup? And how do you look at it in terms of like looking at potential playoff implications?
Well, I mean, it's two teams that are in the mix there. So the game obviously has a great deal of importance because so many teams are bunched within like 2 games. So whoever plays the best down the stretch is probably going to be able to host a playoff series, and I do think that's an advantage. So it is a big game. Indiana's playing really well.
Here's what makes the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark comparison so frustrating for everyone involved. It was never a real comparison. It was manufactured drama created by people who wanted to turn women's basketball into a rivalry-driven soap opera instead of letting the actual basketball speak for itself. Caitlin Clark is averaging 19 points and 9 assists per game while leading the league in total assists and three-pointers made. She's running an entire offense, making everyone around her better, and doing it with efficiency that ranks among the top point guards in the league. Angel Reese is averaging 13 points and 13 rebounds while shooting 40% from the field and being one of the best rebounders in professional basketball. Those are two completely different players with completely different skill sets filling completely different roles. Comparing them makes as much sense as comparing Breanna Stewart to Sabrina Ionescu. They're both great players, they do different things, the comparison is pointless, but the media ran with it anyway because controversy generates clicks. And now we're stuck in this cycle where every bad game from either player becomes a referendum on the other one. It's exhausting, it's reductive, and it does a disservice to both players who are trying to build their careers in a league that desperately needs both of them to succeed. Angel Reese is a quality WNBA player right now with the potential to become a great one. She's an elite rebounder, a solid defender, and someone who plays with intensity and passion every night, but she's not a #1 scoring option. She's not someone you run your offense through in crunch time. She's a role player, and there's nothing wrong with being a really good role player in the best women's basketball league in the world. The problem is we spent an entire college season pretending she was something she's not, because people wanted the rivalry to be bigger than the actual basketball. And now we're watching that narrative crash into reality, one 3 for 13 performance at a time. Look at the last 3 games. 12 points per game, 15 rebounds per game, 28% shooting, 20% from 3, 67% from the free throw line. Those rebounding numbers are phenomenal. Those shooting numbers are unplayable if they continue. And that's the tension Chicago has to figure out moving forward. Do you keep running plays for her in the post knowing she's going to miss 60% of her layup attempts? Do you let her keep shooting threes when she's making 1 out of every 5? Or do you adjust her role, limit her touches on offense, and maximize her value as a rebounder and defender who scores in transition and on putbacks? That's the conversation Chicago's coaching staff is having right now behind closed doors. Because they're 21-12, sitting in 4th place in a tight playoff race. Indiana is playing great basketball. Connecticut is surging. The margin for error is shrinking every game. They can't afford to have their starting power forward shooting 28% from the field if they want to host a playoff series.